A message for my people.
Nick Dad, baby. We the new label.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, son.
Now this the black sheep sticking its home. I need a crib like I'm Gatsby.
I need it.
In hand, just understand my
Pockets that deep.
with nothing to prove. I ain't got nothing to do. When they can't compete and I got nothing to lose. You see that?
Yes, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to Veterans Minimum, the number one sports betting vibe on the internet. I'm your host, Nick Dais. All things me are at Nick Dais 10 on social media. All things Veterans Minimum. Shouts to Isaiah in the control room. Flying the graphic right now if you're watching on YouTube at Veterans Minimum. Flannel boys.
Yeah, dude, it is
like
the fall
it.
season. It's a little cool outside. Jeremiah said I could be a lumberjack. So yeah, it's lumberjack season. People really appreciated the jacket look on the last episode, that VM jacket, bomber jacket. Make sure you get that at merch store /VM.
Merchandise. Veterans Minimum.
Merchandise.veterans minimum. Click the link in bio. That's
Yeah.
what I always put. Do that. Get yourself a bomber jacket. But right now it's flannel season, and there's no flannels on the merchandise shop right now, Nick.
You know who else? Well, maybe we could get some flannels on there. I'm down with a flannel. White tee and a flannel.
I think the ladies would love a flannel.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like a good
Shout out to the 22%ers.
Yeah. The girls wear the flannel and then they wear the shirts underneath the flannel. Great girls.
Yeah.
Great girls wear great shirts.
Sure. And real quick, you know who else liked the merch look? Me in the shop, because we sold about 12 items last week. A couple bomber jackets. So yeah, we gotta give some commission
Good,
to George over here. Shout out to everyone that bought some merch. Shout out to Sports Betting Queen.
Yes.
She sent me a really funny message in all caps. It was Jameis fucking Winston is Jesus. She was listening to the show last week and she was on the Browns +9, which was your Ursulita.
Yep.
Shout out to you. You were on fire last week, bro.
Had I not just thought that the fucking Seahawks, I thought the Seahawks were going to score, man. I thought at them at home without any DK, they might run the ball a little bit better. Not the case. They played like shit. And Josh Allen and the Bills did exactly what I thought they would do. That's why I took the Bills in the contest. But that was the only one I lost. I was 4-1 because I'm chalking up the Steelers as a win. They're up 23-9 right now.
Oh, so they opened up that game.
They needed to open up that game. Shit, dude. So I went 4-1 in the contest at the Westgate, and I went 4-1 on the show.
Fuck
How
yeah,
about
bro.
them apples?
Yeah.
That's what
Let's
the people
go.
come for.
Fuck yeah.
Literally.
Nah, I love it, man. I love it. If you're winning, that means the show is winning. Browns, I love the Browns last week. Trust me, it's 7-1, bro.
Crazy.
Big point spreads. Not afraid. Not this guy over here. Fuck that. Lions beat the shit out of someone once again.
Oh my God.
That was
they
great.
Trounced them.
Shout out to you also to give you more.
keep
Because
the flowers
this is
coming.
George's show today, yo.
Keep
George,
the flowers coming.
George
4-1, people.
George
Doesn't
is
come
going
around
crazy.
too often.
I said my toxic one was the Broncos -10, and you're like, Bo Nix is a 10-point favorite, bro.
I did say that as a joke,
Yeah,
and I'm glad I said it because I actually meant it.
yeah.
Yes.
So you had that. I had in this economy on the year. So on the year in this economy is 6-4. Ricky Pearsall, anytime TD. One thing, full disclosure, we record the show on Monday evenings. Like right now, it's 7:40 p.m. Pacific time. Because Veterans Minimum has a high quality producer and editor, the show comes out right away after, aka me. And then on Wednesdays, we film Wednesday evening and then the show comes out Thursday. I say all that because it's very important to be in the Discord, to be active on social media as we're talking to people. The Pearsall bet, I didn't bet it come Sunday because Debo ended up playing.
Mm-hmm.
However, I did like his yardage. It was pretty low. Kind of jumped out to me. And they did showcase him. I think he had about 80 yards from scrimmage because he had one of those like jet sweeps that he took for about 30-something yards. So it was good to see him. They did play the promo package, which I said they were going to highlight and him getting shot. And it was like a feel-good story. So in this economy on the year is 6-4. Adriana, 3-5. She's ugly this year, bro.
I even made the graphic, Nick. I made the graphic. Adriana, Bengals -3.5. And Nick, I said I went 4-1 in the Westgate contest. Cameron was struggling to make her picks, right? And she was like, what about the Bengals -2.5? I was like, Cameron, that's Adriana this week. She's like, okay, we're going to put it in.
Oh, I let the contest down too.
You let the contest, bro.
I let Cameron down. Cameron, I'm sorry. We got an Eagles fan back there too.
Oh, the Eagles played.
Shout out to the white corner, Caucasian cornerback, baby. Made a big play on 4th down.
Yeah.
My defensive rookie of the year, strictly bet him because he was a white DB. That was my handicap. We're not going to have many opportunities. So we had to take it at 16-1, even though we'll get to that a little bit later.
Yeah.
So yeah, Adriana 3-5 on the year. Dude, all 5 of my losses are Bengals and Jets games.
Shocker, right?
What a mess. Ursulita 1-7. So if you're playing the ugly line and you're not scared of it, you've been crushing. Trust me, 7-1, Toxic 1, 4-3. George, what's your recap? What you got?
So I wish I would have put my record for the all time in the season. Let me go back here real quick, Nick, because I can give it to you. I went 4-1 this week. So my Toxic 1 now moves up to 2-5. Ursulita for me is 4-2. Trust me is 4-3. In This Economy is 3-4. And Adriana is 5-3.
All right, we got one Adriana that looks good.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm in.
Yeah. This season actually isn't as bad as I thought it was. And it's early. It's the halfway point. If I go on a crazy run here, I can have it look like you trust me. 7-1 is like how people make money in the sports.
Yeah.
If only we sold these picks, Nick.
I mean, we kind of do, man. Patreon.com/veterans minimum. We're not asking for a leg and an arm, right? We keep it cheap, we keep it funky, and we keep it good. $5 a month. It's the best sports betting package on the internet. Year over year, we win. We do well. Anytime touchdown this week. I was telling you before we started recording, I got smoked. I got smoked in the actual picks I gave out, but the bets that I made, because I went to Chase, right?
Yeah.
And then halfway through the week 8 morning slate, all I'm seeing is it's fucking National Tight End Day, and all these guys are scoring touchdowns. And then I'm like, yo, you know what? Let's bet a little Kelsey, a little Kittle, a little Kincaid. I was getting some good numbers on some of those. And I ended up winning some money back on what I actually bet and gave out. But I didn't give those out. Unless you were in the Discord. I did put it out on the Discord. We had an anytime tight end parlay for the afternoon window. Your boy Bowers let us down, bro.
I know. They didn't put him in favorable positions.
I know they didn't, dude. It was so weird.
They
in the red zone, like there was a couple times where he just wasn't even out there, too.
Mm-mm.
I didn't like it.
No, the Raiders are such a bad team.
Yeah.
Like, how do you not go one-on-one on the goal line with Brock Bowers 3 times in a row? This is the second coming of Calvin Johnson. Put him out wide, coach. Learn how to run an offense.
I hate, bro. That's what I mean when I talk about missionary play calling. Because you're 2-5. What's it matter?
I know it does not matter.
What does it matter, bro?
Get with it, Raiders.
Go for it on 4th and 2, 4th and 3. You're sending out field goal units, and it's just them. You see it a lot, bro. Like, dude, the Bengals, if they end up missing the playoffs, it's gonna be that Ravens game. Where they ran the ball 3 times. We called it missionary football. It was dumb. It's like, bro, Joe Burrow had 5 touchdowns in that game. Why are you handing it off to our running back to settle for a 50? Like, I get it, man. Kickers, we've been praising the kickers. They're hitting some bombs this year. But it's still a 50-yard field goal, bro. I don't care how good McPherson is. Money McPherson. It's still, you're settling for that? You're going to settle for that. There's not a better situation you would want to be in than a 52-yard field goal or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, man. You see a lot of these teams, bro. It's like, dude, what do you have? Why not play spoiler? Yo, the years that I would play football or anytime I would play sports and like we couldn't make the playoffs or something, it's like, yo, we're gonna take them down with us. Oh, y'all need this game to be a 1 seed? Oh, no, you ain't getting 1 seed.
Yeah.
Like, this is our playoff game.
Those other teams that see the film later on, they're like, hey, you know, that team's actually pretty tough. Hey, you know, that Lamb kid at quarterback slinging the rock right now. I don't understand how this team isn't undefeated. That's what the teams are saying.
This is exactly what the teams are saying.
Yeah, the Raiders not finding Brock Bowers is tough. They had the Chiefs on the ropes. So many teams have had the Chiefs on the ropes this year. It's just furthering my thought process of this is the season they go undefeated. Like, you need everything to go right for you. And here's the thing, not everything is going right for them, and they're still winning. Like, the worst possible things in the world are happening to this team, and they're still winning ball games. Chris Jones, where do you put him next to Aaron Donald? Aaron Donald, I feel, made playing defensive tackle like really cool. Like, he was an inside game wrecker that really became a premier player. Everyone was like 99, 99, 99. Chris Jones, I think, could possibly be better than primetime Aaron Donald.
As you started this, I thought you were crazy. I'll be honest. But it brings up a fascinating discussion. Guys like Chris Jones, guys like Jimmy Butler, guys like Eli Manning, would you rather them perform week 7 versus the Cardinals or when it matters? Because Chris Jones in the playoffs, bro, it's become like a thing. Like, yo, he's going to show up. And look, he's had some monster regular seasons too. We're not talking about like this guy goes from having 3 sacks and then all of a sudden he's getting 8 sacks. And no, he's been productive. But Aaron Donald has been Defensive Player of the Year many times. And like, he became the standard, the greatest defensive tackle of all time. So versatile. And he kind of like birthed that position where now you're seeing a defensive tackle get double-digit sacks. Before It was, get me like 30 tackles for loss and maybe 2 sacks. Mm-hmm. And go get $15 million a year or $20 million. Now it's like, no, these guys are getting double-digit sacks. Let me ask you this, because the Yankees right now are in the playoffs. Not to make this a betting segment, even though I can't see. Can you see the score from here? I can't see the score. 4-0, right? So it's game 3, 4-0. I say all that to tie into what you're saying about Chris Jones. Would you rather, big would you rather guy, your best player shows up regular season and then completely lays an egg in the playoffs when it matters most, i.e. Aaron Judge, like he's getting shitted on. I was in New York this past weekend. It is not polite. The face of the Yankees and probably the face of New York sports. It's like him and Jalen Brunson right now in New York, where it's like, yo, these guys run the city. He's struggling. What would you prefer? Like, I know my answer. Like, I want you to show up in big moments when it really matters. That's when you become iconic. I don't really care if you hit 5 home runs in a series against the fucking Royals. And again, I don't know if the Royals were good this year. I'm just using them as an example. What would you prefer? Because I think it ties into your point about Aaron Donald and Chris Jones.
Of course, it's playing big in the postseason. And if you give me that trait in a player, of course I'm going to take that. And that's what, your legacy is built on, is postseason success. Because if you don't have any postseason success, you're not even allowed at the fucking dinner table. So enjoy being in the regular season convo. Where do you want to take this, Nick? Because my picks this week were money. You were a little What are we going to be cooking with today?
I didn't like I didn't like that. All right. That one kind of upset me. Lions, trust me, bro.
I figure.
Trust me.
I know.
Nah, but listen, you're right, though. You're right. I'm glad that your picks were crushing. 16, 10, and 1 on the year are, trust me, in this economy in Adriana. And I swear, bro, if I didn't pick the Jets and the Bengals, and even shouts to David in the Discord, he's like, there go Nick again. Fucking Jets and Bengals every week. That brings me to our segment.
Yes. Today.
The name of this segment, George, is called Are They Toast or Nah? Toast being like, pack them on up.
I like
it's over. No playoffs, no hope, no nothing. I have a list of teams here. The criteria, it's all preseason high expectations that now they're all below 500. There's one team that is 500. We'll get to them in a second. And at the end of this segment, I want you to pick a team you think could still make the playoffs. Because there is one, I mentioned them a couple weeks ago, and I'm loving it even more now, bro. I'm loving it even more now. Should we start with them?
Oh, fuck you. Are you really going to say the Bengals?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, because they're the first one on the list. I was
No.
Nick, you're burying yourself. This is public suicide.
No. I'm not gonna do that.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw a curveball on our list. Shout out to the notes for the rundown of the show.
Oh my God.
I'm not gonna do that.
That scared me.
I know. I can tell by your reaction.
Like, wait,
You're giving me a side eye. Like,
oh. All right. I was gonna roll with it, bro. I had your back.
I fucking love the Rams. I said this 2 weeks ago when Dave Ross filled in for you.
Yep.
Shouts to Dave Ross, man, always showing us love. He reached out to me on Thursday when I was in New York, and he sent me Rams with the eyes. The Rams at the moment are 3-4. They're plus 490 to win the division. They're one game back of first. They still have Seattle this week. Then they have Saints, Pats, Jets, Miami still on the schedule, as well as Cardinals and the Seahawks last 2 weeks of the season at home. They got Puka and Cooper Kupp back, which I'm going to go on record and say, bro, best wide receiver duo in the league.
Okay. You're allowed to say that. When they've been healthy and they've played together, they look unstoppable.
And I know we have, well, not anymore this season. You had the guys in Tampa. You got A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith.
You got Nico Collins and Stephon Diggs and Tank Dell.
But those two guys are out now. You got T. Higgins and Chase, who would probably be my number one. But like T. Higgins Friday was like, yeah, I got hurt again. That kind of fucked up Adriana also. Because like, dude, when he's in the lineup, it opens up a lot of shit. There's something interesting where that's why it's important to watch the games. And I was telling you this before we started recording. We were talking about the UFC over the weekend. And Ilia Topuria fought. And like Ilia Topuria, when he made his debut in like 2021, I was like, yo, this guy got it. He was one of my future champs. It was him, Benoit Saint Denis at 155, and then Shavkat Rakhmonov, who's fighting in December for the title. I'm like, yo, this is the future champs, right? And a lot of my friends were all picking Max Holloway. He's popular. He had that crazy knockout back in April. And I was like, yo, you guys are about to get the Topuria experience. I don't want to call you casuals, but what happens a lot of times, whether it's in MMA, whether it's in MVP voting, whether it's just like matchups come playoff time, the popular name is priced like a popular name, and he shouldn't be.
Mm-hmm.
Topuria was like minus 300 for a reason.
Right.
And I thought he dropped one of the first two rounds for sure. I thought it was 1-1. Some people had it 2-0 Max. And then he stops Max Holloway in the third round. And I say all that because watching changes everything. It gives you more context and perspective with T. Higgins and Chase. Every time Chase would be out the lineup, everyone's betting overs on T. Higgins. And you're like, no. And actually, his numbers, if you look at his like fantasy pros or any analytic chart, his numbers are better when both of their numbers are better when they're in the lineup. Like, bro, they went crazy against the Eagles. They both had over like 100 yards, 2 touchdowns each. One needs the other to be the fucking all-pro wide receiver caliber that they are. And that's how I feel about the Rams. They're plus 490 to win the division. I made that bet today, right before I took off from New York. Super degen, bro. People text their mom and their dad and their significant others when they're taking off. I'm on the duel.
Bro.
I'm on FanDuel, fucking punching in plus 490.
The sprint from TSA to the gate because you want to sit down, you want to feel a little comfortable. They start calling you. You're bored in the plane. You're getting them last second. I know exactly what you're talking about. I've made a bet before, like, because I just wanted to test it out. Like, can I make a bet at 25,000 feet? You know? Like, does it still register my phone in that location? It definitely didn't work, but the app was still open.
Bro, when I
It's very degenerate.
When I landed in New York Thursday afternoon, the first thing I did was open up all the betting sites.
Oh my God.
I didn't text mom. I didn't text dad. I was like, yo, do I get any promotional bonuses? Do I get a match deposit bonus? Because, you know, I talk about that shit. Bro, I've literally drove to Arizona because I got an email from one of the sites and they're like, hey, if you deposit by Sunday, we'll give you $500 if you bet 500. And I'm like, yes, I will take that 45-minute commute to the Hoover Dam.
Yeah.
I'm a degen. I'm going to take advantage of it. And for real, you should also. When people ask me what betting sites I'm on, all of them. They're like, really? I'm like, yeah, all of them. You bet on all of them? No, I'm not going to bet the same game on 12 different apps. But I got all of them, bro, on my phone. I actually have a separate phone that just has betting apps on it.
Really?
Yeah, it's this one right here that we're using right now to keep track
phone?
of. Yeah, it's my trap phone. There's no number to it, but I just need to be in Wi-Fi services in order to have it.
I like that.
And it's just betting in social media. And it's a real thing, man. Like, you got to capitalize on these bonuses and these reload bonuses and deposit bonuses and referring friends. Like, yeah, you gotta take advantage of that shit, bro. So that's the first thing that I did once I landed. And then right before I left, I bet the Rams at plus 490.
Yep.
And bro, my handicap is I love their schedule. If those two guys are there on the field, Kupp and Puka, that team is gonna be a bitch to play. You saw what they did to the Vikings. And it just opens up. And like Stafford, bro, I fucking love Matthew Stafford, bro.
He's one of those quarterbacks that it doesn't matter who's around him. You know that he can cover the spread. Like he is a rough and tough. They don't make him like him anymore in college football. There actually is a quarterback somewhat like him in college football. The LSU quarterback, Garrett Nussmeier, reminds me just of Matthew Stafford. Tough kid, doesn't move around too well. But Matt Stafford is that guy. Nick, everything you said handicap-wise leads me to believe that they can do this. But this division, to me, being such a wild west, for them to be able to come out on top isn't as clear as some other teams. Now, you'd mentioned a favorable schedule at the beginning. You have a 2-game stretch between Buffalo and San Francisco in the middle of December. I think that's the 2 most meaningful games for the Rams. The rest of them, I think they should win considerably. But I think that San Fran game at San Fran 3 weeks before the season ends, that's not a good spot. Because I think San Fran is just starting to get going. Everybody in this division, to me, is starting to do this. That's why getting them at a 4-1 division winner place is really good. What are the other odds looking like for that division? Was it right around the same for everybody? 3-1, 4-1?
Roughly, like you could get a plus 130 on the Niners. Even though they're technically second in the division.
Right.
Right now, your leader, if it was to end right now, are the Arizona Cardinals.
Yep.
But you could get plus 130, Arizona plus 320, the Rams plus 490, and the Seahawks plus 550.
Wow. Yeah, no, definitely out of all the teams in that division, that's the best number value-wise with how good that team can possibly be. Now, here's the downside. When you have 2 players that are your entire offense that are injury prone, bro, like it's limited. It's a ticking time bomb. It's unfortunate.
For sure. But you know what? I also think that them 2 on the field make Kieran Williams, like, bro, I think he scored in like 13 straight games. He's scored in a lot of games in a row, bro. And that opens up things for him as well.
Mm-hmm.
10 games? 10 games in a row, he scored a touchdown per Isaiah in the control room. So if this is wrong, just blame Isaiah.
Huh.
But yo, on a serious note, you got him, you got Puka, you got Kupp. Tutu Atwell now slides into his role as like a 3rd option, 4th option speedster.
Yep.
You need him to go out there and catch 8 targets. And like you've seen that this is a successful recipe for the Rams. Like the Rams, they had Odell and Cooper Kupp. Hey, if Stafford throws the ball 32 times, 21 of them are going to those 2 guys.
Yeah.
And we'll figure out the rest. And you're not going to stop it because he trusts both of them equally. And the last thing I'll say about this, man, I said it before, I fucking love Matthew Stafford, bro. I don't think I've ever been happier for someone to win a championship more than him. Granted, I did bet them 15-1. I could
it's
be
a little extra stimulation there.
Yeah.
Nick. Yes.
But like, bro, I just feel we talk about this shit all the time. We have athletes come on the show all the time. and they say the same thing. So many players, their talent isn't shown, and people don't know just how good they are because of the role that they're in. And I remember watching Aaron Rodgers on McAfee say that, yo, Stafford's been doing all this shit that everyone salivates over Pat Mahomes for since Georgia. But he's winning 6 games a year in Detroit, so it's not highlighted.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same shit. I would think LeBron James many, many years ago said, yo, give me Damian Lillard. I'll show you how good he is. Because he's over in Portland, and you know he's dropping 30 a game, but like Portland plays Tuesday night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern time, and it's you got to have league pass to get him. They weren't getting the big nationally televised games. You know, later on, this was early in his career, and he talks about that, and it's true, man. It's true. Like there's so many players that are just in roles and in situations where, because of ownership, because of front office, like bro, look at the Commanders. We'll get to them in a little bit, but like the Commanders, they get a new owner, and now look at the morale and the excitement.
Bro, they have a college football environment in the NFL.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Mind you, like last year, or pretty much my entire life, I'll take it back. Kirk Cousins days, I saw what was possible in DC, but bro, it is electric in that Commander Stadium. I don't know what the hell the name of the stadium is. Forgive me, but you guys change your team name every other year. So, I mean, can you really blame a guy? Nick, you brought up something good. It was like, which athlete would you have rather, or like happy that you saw won a title and kind of like vindicated their career in a sense?
Yeah, that's the question.
Yeah.
And I would love for you guys to let us know in the comments. Give me an athlete that you would want to see win a championship that will validate their career, that you've always respected their game, but they're just in a city situation. Who would you pick?
So I was taking it from a player that actually did it, and I had that same feeling when I was younger.
That's a good one too.
Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce with the Boston Celtics was a cherry on top. It was a man who had been through the shits, bro. I mean, you're talking 30-win seasons, all-time leading in championships franchise, you know, shitting up a storm, big trade, them winning that title after he allegedly, what did they say? He shit himself, getting wheelchaired out. I was just flashing back to that It Is What It Is episode. Hilarious.
Yeah, that was when I met him, and I was like, yo, you know, when I play basketball, I tell people I modeled my game after you, and he just looked me up and down. He was like, nah.
No, you didn't tell me that.
Yeah, bro.
That's hilarious.
I went in there to mic him up. He was sitting right over there. And like, bro, Paul Pierce, like fucking Nick killer, dude. Like, he would kill the Knicks all the time, right? And that was the first time that Mason Cam came out here and they recorded It Is What It Is. They did 2 shows during Summer League before everything transpired and what it turned into. And they had Paul Pierce on the show. I went in there to mic him up. And I was like, yo, Paul, I'm a Knicks fan, man. You always killed us. Because they did 2 shows. So the first one, they were talking about him playing in the Garden. And then I go, yo, by the way, when I hoop, I tell people my NBA comp is Paul Pierce. He just looked at me like, nah. And he just started talking to Cameron. He's like, this fucking 5'10" white guy. Don't fucking disrespect me and tell me that
Facts, bro.
my game is modeled after you. Like, fuck out of here, bro.
That's the truth.
That's exactly how he probably felt.
That's the truth. Hey,
shout out to Paul Pierce, man.
People couldn't handle the truth. You know how many times I would scream that at my TV as a 10-year-old? People can't handle the truth, bro. Anyways, back to football.
So in on the Rams, you like the Rams? I don't think they're toast.
They're not
I
toast.
think they're definitely live.
Not toast.
They're live
Lively
and plus
team.
490 to win the division. Hopefully late December, they're in a winning you're in, and we could resurface this and be like, yo, we told you back then. I like the schedule. It's favorable. We'll see what happens. I think this is a big game this week because they play Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Miami is 2-5. They got Tua back.
Mm-hmm.
I think the biggest ovation this weekend, outside of the Hail Mary that the Commanders had, was probably a 3rd down scramble that Tua slid, and the crowd went crazy.
I stood up off my couch, Nick.
Yeah.
I was on my couch sitting down. He took off scrambling. I was like, oh my God. For some reason, it was like have you ever watched the JFK assassination video? Like you just know it's coming. You're like, oh my God, it's about to happen.
Right now.
And it like cuts and it rickrolls you, you know, like, and you're like, what the fuck is this? But
I was watching the game closely because I laddered Tyreek Hill. He didn't score no touchdown.
No,
but it was nice to see Tyreek Hill back.
It was nice to see the Dolphins offense move the ball down the field in some capacity. They scored 28 points this week. That is a quarter of the amount of points that they've scored all season long. So yeah, this is good for them. However, Nick, when I look at this team, it's like speed is cool, but being tough is cooler. This team is not tough. They lack an aura of we're going to dominate you. We only rely on our speed and we're afraid of, getting physical. That's the way I feel about the Dolphins. And until they prove me otherwise and put up monstrous defensive performances, like that Cardinals team, that Cardinals offense to me is a year away from the way that they played this weekend, where it was like, damn, you guys are flowing. Marvin Harrison Jr. looks legit. This offense has got continuity. Kyler Murray on Call of Duty weekend gets to rewrite the narrative and gets a big win. But that's like next year Cardinals for me. So when this Dolphins defense allows that to happen, they're toast. This team is toast. And I don't know what you do to start dissembling this shitstorm. The last thing I'll leave you with this, Malik Willis was available this offseason. Isn't he a better fit than Skylar Thompson or Tim Boyle? Why was the phone not picked up? And I mean, you talked me into, quarterbacks should kind of match the system. The Colts go opposite of it. I know we'll talk about them in a second, but you could have brought in Malik Willis and been a legitimate contender. Like, I think that would have, won the Dolphins the games that Tua was out. So they're toast to me.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. I think I told you my theory about weather playing into how teams are and like the culture of cities. Like, bro, Miami's 80 degrees all year round. It's a beautiful city. Great girls all over the place. Shout out to A Street Latinas. Don't Google that while you're at work because you might get fired, but shout out to A Street Latinas. I think LA, West Coast, Florida, you don't got no adversity, bro. You don't got 12 degrees for 6 weeks and fucking you're going out there and moving your coffee cart around and it's 9 degrees and you gotta go to work. Like your weather is, and it creates like a very relaxed climate. And just like the aura of the people are just like surfer bros.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're not rugged. You're not fucking in the trenches, like 9 to 5 fucking labor work like it is in the Northeast, the Pittsburghs and Bostons and Jersey and New York Cities of the world. And I just feel like me moving to the West Coast, I could tell immediately like, oh, yo, you're super West Coast. Like you're just like, oh, I'm not working more than, I got to be out at 3:00. I'm out at 3:00. God forbid I work to 3:07 and have a fucking heart attack. And I just feel like a lot of that has to be the weather too, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the weather.
I
wish I grew up in a place where it's kind of nice all year round.
The only thing
now I do, we live in Vegas.
I can say to that is the Tampa Bay Lightning have won a lot of Stanley Cups, and hockey players are some of the toughest motherfuckers that I've ever met. So it maybe doesn't apply to hockey. I think it doesn't. This doesn't apply to hockey, but basketball and football for sure. For sure. Maybe not bad. Shit, it has to be an outdoor sport. The weather has to play a factor.
Because you just look at how many teams that are in warm weather cities that when they go to like, we're not even talking about the extreme shit like what Miami had to go into against Kansas City. Like that was going to fuck you up regardless. But like, dude, they'll see 40 degrees and like Tua's record is like 1-17. You're like, bro, it's not that crazy.
Yeah.
But when it's 80 and 90 degrees for you in November, yeah, it plays into it. I also think they're toast. I was not high on them coming into the year. I am curious to see if they're going to be a trade candidate before the deadline. You know, we talked about how we're being silly, but also kind of being serious. Like, yo, Tua, are you going to play? Seems like he's going to play. He's taking that and running with it as far as like, yo, this is my decision, and I can live with that. Who are we to tell him what to do? Like, yo, if you know what the repercussions might be and you still sign off on it, cool. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
So I think they're toast. They're just underwhelming as a team, right? Like Marvin Harrison got open on Jalen Ramsey, and Jalen Ramsey's the highest paid corner in the league. I feel like he hasn't been good since the Rams won the Super Bowl. And even that, like Jamar Chase,
too, bro. He knows it.
Yeah.
He knows it. He robbed the Dolphins.
Bro, yeah. And look, get your money, right? Get your money. But you're also open to scrutiny and to be criticized by people like us and the media. And that's what's going to happen. Like, bro, get your money. Fucking dope. If you could rob people like that, I'm with it. I'm always pro player. I talk about this all the time ever since I did the show with Will Blackman. Shouts to Will, 40 years old over the weekend. Big love to big bro Will Blackman. Yeah, so to me, it's a hard position to play, and a lot of players get exposed at cornerback, and it ties into the next team, the Jets, my Super Bowl pick, 2-6. My record would be so much better if I didn't pick them every week, bro.
Nick, you ruined your legacy on this show. If I'm going to be honest with you, you continued to not look at how bad this football team is. They're putting luxury toys in front of you and making you think that they still have a chance. You stupid, stupid idiot. Like, how stupid can you really be, Nick? I mean, it's.
And I'm a big trust my eyes guy and like watch the games. And I'm watching. I'm still just. What happened to Sauce Gardner, by the way? All of a sudden, wide receiver 4s on the Pats are getting open. And like, yeah, I thought you're the best. You know, you've been an all-pro first couple seasons in the league. You've been amazing. I'm not saying that it's dropped off, but when you're like a consensus top 2 corner in the league, now you're kind of getting lit up. Not lit up, but
yeah,
plays that you would make in the past, you're not making now. Like, what happened, bro? The strength of this team was supposed to be the defense. And it just, even with Salah, it was still... You can't blame that Salah left and now the defense is an issue. No, the defense was an issue, and that was his thing, right? Comes over from the Niners when he did, and that's what his bread and butter was.
Yeah.
Like, yo, what happened to Sauce? What happened to this pass rush? I know they're going to get Hassan Reddick back. They're 2-6. The schedule, like I've been saying it's favorable, but they're on a 5-game losing streak. And you got no one else to blame but yourself. This is what you asked for. If you're the Jets, if you're Jets fans, if you're Aaron Rodgers, y'all asked for this. It's a bitter pill to swallow. It sucks because you got everything you wanted. You got the coach fired. You got your boy in there. The offense is yours. Why? What's going on?
Yeah.
There's been a drop off in your play. You're not a 35 touchdown passer anymore. Why not do what Peyton Manning did when he went to Denver? Why not do what they were doing with like, Brady was still kind of lighting it up. That's a bad example.
Drew Brees?
Drew Brees. Yeah.
Drew Brees is a perfect example.
Yeah. Like, yo, you're no longer that guy.
Yeah.
And yo, you have weapons, man. And the offensive line is still bad. The offensive line is bad. It gets exposed every week. But fuck, man, this team is on a 5-game losing streak. How Greg Zuerlein has a job is wild. Does he have blackmail? Does he have like a sex tape from someone in the organization? It gotta be some shit like that, bro.
I think it's something that
he's cost them a legit 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
You could make a case for 4, but 3, I think like, yo, you missed field goals or PATs and you kind of fucked up everything. Where the other one, it's like, all right, well, maybe you could put it on him, but man, that's a whole different comment. Like, how does he have a job, bro? Like, remember Marvin Lewis was the coach for the Bengals?
Yeah.
When I used to do the show with some of the other guys on the come up, we would always say like, yo, he got to have a sex tape of like the owner fucking banging out a cheerleader or something. It's like, no way, bro. This guy's winning 5 games a year and he's been a coach for 15 years there.
Yeah.
It has to be something. Tell me that he got a sex tape or some shit so he could validate why he has the job. That's how I feel about Greg Zuerlein, man. The fact that he has a job is just hysterical to me.
So
they're toast, by the way.
Yeah.
I think they're toast.
Yeah, they're for sure toast. it's sad, honestly. Now at this point, now I feel bad for him, and I would almost bet on him because I feel bad for him, you know? But yeah, Nick, they are just such a lost team, and it's a prime example of when a franchise is in disarray, stay away for a while. And it's unfortunate because they were ring chasing, and now, like, what do you do, bro? I think you make a trade and you try to get Zach Wilson back and steer the ship in the right direction. Let's not forget, Zach Wilson had this team like playoff contenders last year around this time.
Bro,
like
it's the team was better with Zach Wilson last year
bottom
than with
line.
Aaron Rodgers, and it's crazy to think. I love what you said about staying away when a team is in disarray. That was tremendous wordplay there. That was fucking phenomenal.
Thank you.
And you're right. Like continuous sloppy play. I don't know if you noticed this, but because I was back in New York, I had a multi TV set up back at the crib, and we had the Jets game on. I didn't bet it. +7, was not going to bet that. I didn't expect them to lose. We said on the show last week, like, they lose this game, it's a wrap.
Mm-hmm.
And the way they lost with about 30 seconds left, Pats go in there and they steal it. What about Jeff Albright taking all 3 timeouts in the first quarter?
What the fuck is that?
Bro, you don't even do that in Madden, dude.
No.
Like, that's like, no one does that. Like, just a lot of weird stuff. And look, he missed a field goal from 44 yards out. I think I get enamored when Rodgers does string a drive together like he did for 70 yards, leads in a touchdown. But you're like, fuck, man, why can't it look like that all the time? They did it with Pittsburgh. It came out Sunday Night Football, bro. It might have been the second drive of the game. I think it was the second drive of the game, and long touchdown drive. You're like, oh, shit, we about to cook. Nope. Got fucking smoked. And we've been waiting on Rodgers and Adams to connect. Maybe that glory is done, bro. That was 30 months ago.
There was one play that I watched in that game where Christian Gonzalez completely. Have you seen the corners? They do the seatbelt.
Yeah.
Definition of, hey, Devonta Adams, let me just make sure that you're safe in this fucking vehicle, bitch.
Yeah.
He shut him down. And I think it was at that moment in time that I saw, there goes my hero.
Mm-hmm.
Watch him as he goes, bro. That's that play in slow-mo as Christian Gonzalez and the 1-5 Patriots are going to beat the Jets. Give me a fucking break. It's over. It's over.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers retires after this year.
Yeah, I think he got it.
There's no way he doesn't. Does he do a mid-season retirement? Fake an injury?
Yo, that would be peak Jets karma. If he's just like, yo, you know what, man? I fired the coach, set y'all back, made you spend all this money on the cap space, traded for my boy Devontae. Yo, Devontae, you can still stay on the couch, bro, until you get your situation. I'm out, man. I ain't fucking with this. I'm not going to ruin my legacy. Even though I am kind of ruining my legacy.
Well, I have a theory, too. If you are a professional athlete and you don't like fuck with your family and your family doesn't fuck with you, that means you're a burn bridges type of guy at the end of the day when going gets tough. Because if you're going to burn your bridges with your family, the fuck are you going to do to the Jets? And we're witnessing it. There's a correlation there. It's going to get ugly.
Yeah.
It got kind of ugly in Green Bay as well.
Yeah. Well, you know, we don't know the family dynamic. I do hear you, though. I hear you. Like, especially, like, I think of me, right? I went back home to New York this weekend, and I always tell my parents how I hate coming home sometimes because I'm big into my routine. Like, I got a really good routine here in Vegas. I'm making a lot of strides in my craft and my profession. I love what I'm doing, genuinely love it. My training is going well. You know, one of my friends back home, one of the most out of shape friends I have, looks at me and he goes, yo, bro, you're on like TRT and something? I was like, I'm on TRT. I was like, have you been around people that do steroids and take shit? Like, this body is not a fucking,
that's not a TRT
this body isn't a TRT body, bro.
That's
this is a beer belly that is a fuel tank for ass whoopings. Shouts to Stone Cold. I was like, that's how I know you don't train or like in the gym, because you think this body is TRT. And I know I went off on a tangent. I had to get that off my chest. But I was telling my parents how when I come home, I hate coming home because like I don't get to spend time with them. Because I'm going to see this person, I'm going to see that person. I had a wedding this weekend. And when I say that with Aaron Rodgers because like I know how close I am with my family. I know how close you are with your family. Hell, you guys are traveling to fucking Arkansas and all these places to go see your brother play. Shouts to Junior Double Nickels. Took care of the ops this weekend.
Facts.
So like I get it. But then on the flip side, like I have some friends that their family relationship and dynamic is fucked for many reasons. So I don't know if like the family, did the family just start asking him for money out of nowhere? Like that could get annoying.
No, I get it. I'm just
And
saying.
I understand like helping your people.
But for you to let it go publicly known
Yeah.
is a whole nother thing, bro.
Sure.
There's plenty of people that don't have good family relationships you never hear about. Maybe it's because he's a premier quarterback and that's the way that shit rolls. But
there has to be something to that. Like there can't not be something to that.
yeah, we're witnessing it.
Yeah,
He's a media hog.
Yeah.
He loves the attention on him. And it's for all the wrong reasons. He might retire midseason, Nick. He's not happy.
Nah. He brought up the darkness retreat. Guy got a lot of punchlines though. He got some quotables.
Mm-hmm. The brain, huge.
Yeah.
Big brain. So here's another theory. I think he's had too many fun times, right? Going to do ayahuasca, treating yourself to do all these psychedelics and seeing the positive other side of life through drugs means that you're going to come back and lose football games. You can't have it all.
You cannot. No.
Do you think Patrick Mahomes would love to do ayahuasca? He would love to do hard drugs, but he'd rather win Super Bowls. That's it. That's it. This team's toast.
They were one of the teams that I was very high on coming into the year. They were one of the teams that I make Adrian every week. And it's been bad. The other team is the Cincinnati Bengals. They're now 3-5. Shout out to the Eagles. They've won 3 straight. They look completely different since the bye week. They got their boys back. When they are healthy, they are a problem.
Mm-hmm.
God almighty. Jalen Hurts, bro. For the love of God. Sirianni. Can we get one fucking carry inside the 5, bro?
It's crazy.
It is unbelievable. And like, I know that was the concern. Coming into the year that Hurts is going to steal all the touches and score on the tush push. But this dude has 5 touchdowns in the last 2 weeks. And Saquon on those, bro, doesn't even have a carry inside the 5.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yo, if half of these Hurts touchdowns would have went to Saquon, I'd feel way better about this offensive player of the year. That's going to come down to the end, even though Derrick Henry is now the favorite. It's like him and Saquon are 1-2. Saquon is plus 350. Derrick Henry is plus 115 right now at the current state. But like, for the love of God, bro, just can we get this guy at least? Just give me one carry, and if he don't get it, I understand. It's cool. But like, fuck, it's so frustrating.
It's an offensive lineman's like worst nightmare too. Like, as an offensive guard that your neck is going to get like just fucking coiled right back in. Permanent spine damage. They're making their offensive line shorter by running this rugby style play. And it just goes to show, bro, like Sirianni and that offense for the Eagles is just not that creative. And it's going to bite them in the ass. When they played that Super Bowl against the Chiefs and that team sat on the fucking ball all game because on a 3rd and 1, they wanted to run a QB sneak. It's like, well, how about you open up the playbook and try to win a Super Bowl? You haven't learned your lesson. You feel like maybe that's it because you made it to the Super Bowl. I just don't think that's necessarily something that can last throughout the entirety of this year. Maybe it is a second half of the year we start seeing some carries with Saquon. Or do they save it for the playoffs and really screw us? Like, you're eventually going to have to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. I wonder because it feels like Jalen Hurts kind of fell off around week 10, 12 last year when he started to get beat up. We'll see. Maybe they are going to do that. Maybe he goes crazy post Thanksgiving, and they're like, "Yo, let's start taking some of the workload off of Jalen Hurts." Got to give a shout out to the DBs for the Eagles. Darius Slay left the game, and then like Cooper DeJean came in. Gardner Johnson and Isaiah Rodgers had that really dope interception.
Mm-hmm.
The team that we are talking about, whether they're toast or not, are the Bengals. They 0-4 in Cincy this year, bro. If they haven't played in Cincinnati, they'd be 3-1 this year.
Wild.
How crazy is that?
These poor fans.
So bad. They were up 10-3, controlling the clock, missed the field goal, 3 turnovers, one of them on downs. Like, and the Eagles were able to do whatever they want. They scored on, I believe, 5 or 6 possessions in a row, but it just felt like, because that game was close, dude.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5.
Yeah, and then out of nowhere, it just
you're
like, holy shit, they're down 3 scores. How did that happen? And
it's not sustaining drives.
Yeah,
and that's what the Bengals didn't do in key moments. That's why, Nick, this might be the first team, or I think we've said one other team isn't toast. I think we think the Rams aren't toast. I'm going to put the Bengals in the not toast category. Nah. Like, they are.
I appreciate that, and so do my futures.
This game was it was lost due to, lack of being able to finish, but I don't necessarily think that they're a team that's just going to give up on this season. You really, really got to make the most of this Jamar Chase thing. Nick, I know they've been boys for a long time, but like, if these losses continue to stack up, this could be the end of that duo. Have you thought more into that? I'm not crazy in saying it either. I feel you have to make a serious consideration in where you want this franchise to go. And you had them this year and you guys weren't that good. It makes the casual people think, okay, let's try to find some other options. The other options, obviously, you keep Joe Burrow where he's at, but you got to try to find ways to get picks.
Oh, I mean, look, Burrow is definitely going to be good where he's at, and he's not the one that's going to leave without a doubt. There's no way.
Mm-mm.
It would be Chase, and I think that the relationship is soured. They're going to have to pay him more now.
Upwards of what people would be, 38, 40 million?
Yeah.
Like,
look,
that's
man,
what the value will be next year.
I think he's worth it too. I think he's a premier wide receiver, and he's definitely worth it. And when it comes to Burrow and Chase, that dynamic, if you are boys, gotta have the comment, be like, yo, man, listen, fucking Buffalo's giving me 40 a year. If you're boys, you gotta be like, yo, bro, you gotta go, man. I get it. If they can't offer that, like, why wouldn't you want your friend to flourish and go crazy and go somewhere else? Like, I know they have a great relationship. They've set all these records from LSU, and then they've made an impact here. They're one of the best quarterback wide receiver duos in the league. But I'm kind of with you, man. I think that the relationship with the organization has gotten so soured that he might leave unless they just break them. Like, money talks, right? CeeDee Lamb, the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to test the waters until they came through and were like, here you go.
You want to
happy now?
Here's an example to make people think that we're not like completely stupid. Like, Tyreek Hill no longer plays for the Chiefs. And when you saw that duo back then, even with Travis Kelce there, you were like, they're not going to break this up. Yeah. Are you kidding me? How can they break this up?
Yeah.
Bro, I'm telling you, sometimes with those receivers, the grass is greener on the other side, because you also want to get Joe Burrow off the stigma of, oh, bro, without Chase, you're nothing. You're kind of in that sort of position. But anyways, they're not toast. We've listed off their schedule plenty of times in these past episodes. For those reasons, they'll be good. They'll be spoiler this year. They'll play that spoiler role we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, and look, the Commanders lost, the Ravens lost. Now, by the way, Baltimore, just staying with the AFC North, talk about what the fuck losses. The Browns, now with Winston, they might end up winning, like, let's just say they go 6-11.
Yeah.
But Baltimore, I still think that they're a really good team. I think their fatal flaw is their defense. They can't stop anyone. Their defense is really, for as good as the offense is, and how this offense probably looks better than it's ever looked with Lamar at quarterback. The defense can't stop anybody.
Yeah,
and you lost to the Raiders. You've lost now to the Browns. I know in division you were on it with Ursulita catching 9 points with Jameis Winston becoming the quarterback. Just some wacky losses. And then I think with the Bengals, like the Commanders' loss now has aged amazing, losing to them on Monday Night Football. And you lost that game to Baltimore. I think if they end up missing the playoffs by one game, you'll be like, fuck, man, how do we blow that Baltimore game? Because that's one of the 4 losses that they've had at home this year. I don't think they're toast. I feel like I might be a little biased because I love Joe Burrow. I think he's playing great this year. I think it's the defense for him that's letting him down. And I think that with the Bengals, they could play spoiler. But, dude, we've seen this, man. We've seen the Rams last year got hot. The Niners a couple years ago won 10 in a row. Like, these 3-5, 3-6 teams, you know, they got the margin of error becomes like fucking minuscule. But you see these teams. There's always a 3-5, 4-6 team that like all of a sudden like, oh shit, they got to 10 wins. And I feel like if you could get to 10 wins, you have a chance. So even the Jets, right? I'm not saying the Jets have a chance, but a team like the Jets, if you could get to 10 wins, I think you have a chance. They would have to go 8-1 the rest of the way, which again, margin for error. Now that sucks. You can't afford that.
Yep.
But with the Bengals, they could go 7-2 the rest of the way. We've seen them last year. They banged out a winning streak.
Yep.
So I don't think they're toast. I don't think they're toast. I can't wait for this one.
Okay.
The Colts are 4-4. It's not the Colts that are toast. Anthony Richardson is toast.
It's over for him, Nick. And I'm going to let you go into it because, I mean, what I would have to say almost couldn't be said on the airwaves. Tapping the helmet to come out of the game.
Yo, that was the most Gen Z shit ever. That was the most like, oh, I can't take on this extra shift. I'm too tired. I need a break. I don't feel well. Like, bro, have you ever seen a quarterback tap out?
I've laid down and fake injured. Don't ever tap yourself out. I mean, it's not basketball. It's not like you guys have a wildcat package. You guys got Joe Flacco, who, if I'm not mistaken, is 120 years old. It takes time for him to warm up. And you're going to head tap like he's 22 years old and he can hop in.
Bro, I've been watching football for so long. I've never seen a quarterback do that. Now, if he got hurt, like, bro, I wish you would have lied, dude. I wish you would have been like, yo, I tapped out because I felt like, because he's already been banged up early in his career.
100%.
Like, if he would have just came out and been like, even if you lied, bro, that's why sometimes it's good to lie. It's good to lie. You could protect yourself in certain situations. Just be like, yo, why'd you tap out, Richardson? We've never seen a quarterback do that. I felt a little pop in my shoulder and, I was a little paranoid. I've had to miss time already this year. I missed time last year. You know what everyone would say? All right, cool. He took precaution. He cares about his team. He cares about his well-being. But if you just come out and you go, yeah, I was tired. What? Bro, the division's on the line early. It's a division game. You have a chance to win this. You're tired?
Crazy.
You're tired.
Crazy.
Okay. It goes back to one of my favorite rants recently was Josh Hart, Jalen Williams on the Thunder, Kyrie Irving. They're like, Josh, how come, are you tired? You're playing 47 minutes a game. I'm playing a kid's sport and I'm making millions of dollars. I'm not tired. There's people working 12-hour shifts 6 days a week to make fucking minimum wage. They're tired. Mm-hmm. I can't complain about tired. And I'm like, yo, my 3 favorite new players in the NBA. Self-awareness.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to come out and you're going to say you're tired, bro? Your team needs you? He quit on his team. That, to me, that's quitting on your team.
Yeah.
And that's like, yo, if you've played sports, bro, that's like the number. And listen, I'm not happy about this, but I've quit on my team before too. And I think it's one of like, I've never felt lower as a person. Like, damn, bro. Like, what about us? Like, you feel like a piece of shit.
it happens. It's like maybe a half a second feeling of like relief, and then you're like, oh, damn.
It's a selfish act, and then you realize how many people you let down. Right? Like the UNLV quarterback who just decided, yo, I got promised this NIL money and I'm not gonna play it. It's like, dude, we've been implementing these playbooks since what, late July, early August, and we're undefeated. You gonna dip out on us? Like, what about them 2-a-days and those bonds that you build with people? You're just gonna bounce on us? Like, that's kind of fucked up, man.
Yeah.
And with Richardson, I just think I think he's toast as a quarterback. Like we said it. Yo, you said it. Hats off to you, bro, because that take is aging better and better every week. That 60-yard throw he made week 1, ironically enough, against the Texans, is going to have everybody's mind blown forever to give him opportunity after opportunity. And he duped everyone because he was 2 of 15 in the first half, ended the game 10 of 32. And this incident was like very soft, bro. Just some Gen Z shit. Like,
did you see the run it came after?
Yeah.
I just saw the whole story, right? I didn't see the full run. Was it?
Yeah, he left the pocket, got tackled out on like the sideline by like the hash mark ish in between the hash marks and the numbers. It wasn't everything crazy. He didn't get smoked.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what I was saying. Like, bro,
soft. You
should have lied. You should have just been like, I tapped out. I know it's weird. I'm the quarterback, but I hurt my shoulder. Even if you're fine, just make a lie up. It's better.
Yeah.
It's better to lie.
Hey, Nick.
Fuck, man.
How about this?
That's just a bad look,
Nick,
dude.
How about this? You play quarterback, okay? Which at any given time, your entire job is to get the ball, take 2 steps, and hand the ball to another person. You're too tired for that. How about you get in your coach's ear and you say, hey, coach, can we hand this one off? You know, it's like, what are we doing? What the hell are we doing? You had brought up how bad Anthony Richardson plays. I'll add on to it. Anthony Richardson's 31.3 completion percentage was the second lowest by any player in a single game with 30-plus pass attempts over the last 10 seasons. The only player who's had a worst one is Josh Allen. That's crazy. 31% completion percentage.
I put out a tweet over the weekend and shouts to
Jared. Should be handing the ball off.
Jared texted me and he said, yo, that's the funniest tweet I've seen in a long time. And I said, we got duped by Richardson off that one goat throat. Goat throat. Goat throat.
Whoa.
I was talking about 8th Street Latinas before and I got rattled. But we got duped by Richardson off that one goat throw he made, but he really just a more polite Jamarcus Russell without the off-field BS.
So true.
Like his numbers are almost the same too. It's like him, Tebow, and Brandon Weeden and Jamarcus Russell as far as like how bad they've been through a 7-game stretch in a season. And it's like, yo, we got duped, bro. It happens. Right? It happens.
Everybody knows that Joe Flacco wins these ball games.
Yes, because he doesn't make mistakes.
Like, so, okay, so who's currently driving the Colts into the ground? Like, to me, bro, there's an epidemic happening of these weak ass quarterbacks starting over better backups. Deshaun Watson happened, and you saw what happened. Jameis Winston comes in and beats a team that's probably going to win that division. Joe Flacco comes in, he plays that game. He probably leads the Colts a win over the Texans, big divisional win to possibly make it to the playoffs later in the season. It's a shocker to me.
Well, I think what happens is I think money gets involved, bro.
We're paying him more, so we have to play him.
You got to play him. I can't have $250 million on my bench. I can't have 4th overall he went? He was top 5. I know Richardson was top 5. Top 10 just to be safe so we don't get attacked for like not having the right draft pick. But like a top 10 pick, top 5. It's like, yo, we can't have this dude who was on the couch literally week 8 last year now coming in. Even it's just the perception of it. And you see teams do that all the time. That's why good teams are like, that's why I'll always give credit to the Cardinals for what they did. Even though I was a big Josh Rosen stan and I thought he was the one, they saw after 1 year, they had him in the locker room. They saw him every day. We don't get to see that. You're like, dude, you just took this guy 10th overall. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, but we see him every day, bro. He ain't it. I had Robert Mathis on the show 2 years ago, I think. And I asked him, I was like, yo, you ever have a guy come into camp and you could tell right away? He's like, yo, it's so much easier to tell than you can imagine. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, some guys like, I've seen first round picks, highly touted, can't miss prospects come into camp and you're like, oh man. And you see just the GM on the sideline, like as he's watching Joe's be like, oh, I'm going to lose my job because of this fucking moron.
Yeah.
Then you have a kid come in like the 5th round, like a Puka, and you're like, holy shit, what the how did that happen?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a recurring thing, man. But I think to answer your question, if I'm paying you $250 million, I can't have you on the sideline.
Yeah.
I got to have you fucking out there.
Yeah.
If I take you top 10 overall, I can't have you not playing for a guy that's nowhere in our future. So that's where I think that comes from.
It's just winning ball games. Like, I don't know. It makes me, these are the questionable decisions that franchises make that make me think that the NFL is really being puppeteered behind the curtains, bro. And these owners of the NFL teams are being told by a higher power, this is what you're going to do. Because it's asinine. It really is. But the Colts, not toast. Not toast for me. I definitely think that with what they got in Joe Flacco, and what will eventually happen is he will get what he had last year with the Browns. An opportunity at the end of the year to take your team to the playoffs. And I'm not going to miss out on the boat to bet him. I'm for sure not missing that shit. And it's going to happen. So that's my my take on them. I haven't watched too much Colts football this year. It's tough for me to watch Colts football without Gardner Minshew playing. Now that he's with the Raiders, I'm like, Yeah. They got Michael Pittman.
Taylor came back. He scored a touchdown. He was one of the, I think only 2 of 7 guys scored touchdowns for me on Patreon this week. But yeah, I had Taylor. Let us know what you guys think, man. There's one more team, but we gotta move past that. I don't want to talk about them. It's the Dallas Cowboys. Y'all been toast since fucking week 1. I don't care what that win was. Talk about a win that hasn't aged well. Holy shit, they beat the Browns.
Crazy.
Congrats.
Yeah.
I'm not. You've been toast. I've been toast until proven otherwise. All right, Patreon. 3 new members, baby. We're at 76.
Holy shit. Let's go.
Let's go. Shout out to Jordan Morgan and shout out to Victor Madrigal.
There we go.
I think I crushed that, though.
Madrigal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shouts to Jordan and Victor joining the Patreon. Patreon.com/veterans minimum. Like we said, for $5 American, the best sports betting package on the internet. We're not trying to scam you, man. We got bigger fish to fry. We're trying to have fun. We're trying to rage, give out these picks. Fun fact. A lot of fans are like, hey, if you just listen to the show, which is free, we kind of have an idea of what you're going to bet and what you're going to give out. No shit. That's why I say, listen to the show. But if you want to get an actual rundown of what it is that we're betting and how much we're betting, you'll be able to see that over there. Patreon.com/veterans minimum. Big ups to the members of the Patreon that are in the highest tiers on the site. Daniel Gibson, Mahul Patel, Abel Rezin, Ben Kotzian, Derek Platees, Christopher Velasquez, Devin Rendon, Dylan Chadwick, Jerry Shapiro, Jordan Riley, Mike Stevens, Nick Crummich, Thomas Robinson. Remember, Maurice Claret autograph helmet. You must be in the $10 tier or higher to win this helmet.
It's a legendary helmet, man.
Iconic helmet. Iconic helmet. Patreon.com/veterans minimum. Okay, George.
Mm-hmm.
I want to wrap the show by doing a little bit of a futures update, brother.
Oh,
a little bit of rapid fire. I just want to, we're about, would you say this is the halfway point of the year or what next week? We're close. Week 8-ish.
Yeah. So, this is the first half of the midway point. Next week is the last half of the midway point.
I like that.
And then
because now we got that extra week now. So, like after week 9 is like the actual, but we're close enough, right?
Yep.
So, I just want to do a futures update. What did we have in the preseason and what are their odds now? Some of them were #sharp. Some of that we're hashtag fucking dumb.
Right.
Because we are way off. So MVP at the moment, it is no longer Patrick Mahomes, which I felt like the last 3 weeks I kept looking at Mahomes as the favorite. I'm like,
what the hell are we doing?
it's underwhelming. He's thrown an interception in every single game this year. Shouldn't have been the favorite. The favorite right now is Josh Allen at plus 325. When I gave him out, he was plus 850. That was my MVP pick. Who was yours?
Josh Allen.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We were on the same
There's
one.
two that we have that are the same, so we might as well just get them out of the way.
Let's do it.
Offensive Rookie of the Year,
Oh,
Marvin Harrison. Plus 800 at the beginning of the season. Plus 3,500 now.
that one is, you can get rid of that. I think especially now with this Hail Mary that Jaden Daniels had, I think it's going to be impossible.
Yeah.
Like they need to completely, or if he gets hurt, knock on wood, we don't want to see him get hurt. Because it's cool. Like Washington's been through so much. One of my best friends back home, Josh, is a Commanders fan. Josh, who comes on the show frequently, is a Commanders fan. Like, yo, they've been through it. So it was a pretty cool moment. Yeah, he's a heavy favorite. He's like minus 200 in some places.
That's insane.
Which basically means his first name and the first two letters of his last name are already being etched on that trophy. Okay, so we had those. Defensive Player of the Year, Aiden Hutchinson was 16-1. Before he got hurt, he was actually the favorite. Now he's not listed. So that one is toast. Who'd you have for Defensive Player of the Year?
Max Crosby at 7-1 at the beginning of the year, and he has had a rather underwhelming year. Now he's 20-1 to win Defensive Player of the Year. I thought this was his year, man. The Raiders were set up for success, and then they weren't. Shit.
Division bet for me, the long shot I had were the Seahawks plus 650. They're now plus 400. Who did you have, division?
See, I didn't put down my long shot, but I put down one of my division winners that aged poorly. I had the Bengals.
I had the Bengals also.
I think they were around plus 250 at the time, maybe plus 150.
And yo, check this shit out. Ready for this?
Plus 800.
You know what I have here in my notes? We've talked about the worst to first.
Mhm.
Every preseason, every offseason, there's always one. Do you know that right now the two candidates that are currently first in their division that were last year were the longest odds in the preseason? Cardinals 20-1, Commanders 12-1. Now they're the favorites in both of their divisions, and they're leading their divisions. And then the shortest odds were the Jets and the Bengals. And those are the ones that I'd say have no chance of winning the division. So it's crazy that theory is true, right? 19 of the last 21 seasons, a team has gone worst to first. And it's crazy because everyone likes big numbers.
Yeah.
And those are the ones that are leading the storm right now.
And it will eventually be one of those two. Like the Cardinals, I think, will subside here shortly. I think the Commanders are in it for the long haul, and they will be that team that does it.
Yeah.
It won't be both, though.
No, I don't think it'll be both.
No.
I definitely think it's the Commanders. Bro, the Commanders are nice. Terry McLaurin is like, God, I finally got a quarterback.
Jaden Daniels launches that motherfucker too, dude. He's got a cannon. Such a skinny guy. Like, doesn't it always surprise you, like, when those small guys can just launch it like that?
Dude, speaking of Commanders, Dan Quinn was my coach of the year, 20-1. He's the favorite right now at plus 300.
That's one that you love to see.
Yeah.
It's a political one. The narrative that you wrote in your head is happening.
Yeah. Yeah. First year coach with the team, right? He's been a head coach before with Atlanta. But that's, again, the narrative. Like, he's changed the culture. Obviously, Jaden Daniels clearly helps, but I think right now they have the coach of the year and the offensive rookie of the year. And, yo, he's fourth in MVP odds. There hasn't been a rookie to win MVP since Jim Brown, and that was like in the 60s or 50s. Like, black and white television was the last time this happened.
No.
So, yeah, a lot of good things happening in Washington. Defensive rookie of the year, who'd you have?
Defensive rookie of the year, I had Chop Robinson. He was 16-1. Then now he's 30-1. Really just not performing. Like I said, I chose a defensive player in a soft franchise. Wrong move. I will never make that mistake again. Chop Robinson, I didn't look up any of his stats. The fact that he's jumped up double his odds is all you need to know. And then my coach of the year was Doug Peterson. It's failure central. And it's good that I put all my money into this Westbrook contest and I put any of these futures in. my futures will be put in this upcoming week. That halfway point, start mapping out the true winners, and then put a lot of money into that. But fuck, that's bad.
Yeah, that's a rough one.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely a rough one. I've bet on all of these, so I'm feeling really good about them, except for Defensive Rookie of the Year, Cooper DeJean, hashtag white corner, 15-1. He's now 30-1. And then my Super Bowl pick was the Jets at 20-1. They're now 80-1. And they probably should be 180-1, honestly. Who's your Super Bowl?
Chiefs.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not gonna go against it. The three-peat's on its way. On the show, I actually said something that was super head-ass. Like, I didn't make an actual pick. I just said the Chiefs and the top 4 teams in the NFC right now, just put in exactas of all those and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
The only ones that would have really killed you were the Cowboys sucking.
Which we wouldn't have. I wouldn't have let you make that play.
Yeah. I don't think I would have mentally been able to get over that.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have put in the Vikings. Like, it would have definitely just been the Lions and then the Niners.
Truthfully, I would have went Lions, Niners, Packers. Then maybe. Nah, I was gonna say the Panthers, but I'm just trolling now. I'm trolling. I'm kidding.
He's joking.
I'm just trolling. Yeah. Let us know who you guys had and how your futures are.
Or tell me what I should be putting in this upcoming week, futures wise.
Yeah.
I'll definitely be listening to you guys in the comments.
Yeah. Actually, you know what I want us to do for the next show? And this is something people could chime in on. Give us your Super Bowl pick right now. Like, you get a mulligan, you get a do-over.
Yeah.
I need a do-over. That's why we're
Nick
doing
needs
this
a do-over. Yeah.
I had Packers, Jets in the Super Bowl. It was the Aaron Rodgers Bowl. Talk about narratives. That would have been great. And then after week 4, I bet Bengals, Packers to be the Super Bowl. I got that at like 225-1. It was crazy. Because remember, Jordan Love wasn't like back yet.
Right.
Yeah, Wednesday show, pick a Super Bowl matchup. And again, like, even if you go, say you go Lions Chiefs, you can get plus 900. That's a nice payout.
100% is.
Because then come playoff time, if they're both the 1 seed, you might be looking at like a plus 400 payout. So yeah, you're tying your money for long term, but it's a long term investment that might have a big turnaround for you later on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that'll be the Monday show.
Sweet.
George, speaking of Mondays, Monday winner. Monday winner for me is 5-3 on the year. Of course, I had the Bengals last week at 2.5. Felt really good about that because in New York it closed at -3.5. I was like, all right, hashtag sharp. Nope, they got their shit punched in. Monday winner for me, George.
Mm-hmm.
The Packers are 3-point favorites at home against the Detroit Lions. That's a mistake.
Do you think it should have been 1.5?
I think at the least it should be a pick 'em. And the only reason why it should be, I truly think it should be Packers -2.
Wow.
I think it should be Packers -2. I think you set it as a pick 'em because of the Lions. Now, back-to-back games, they beat the shit out of people. And something you said before when we were recording earlier in the show about how, like the picks and starting to see things well. And, like the Bills was such an obvious play. I feel like the last 2 weeks, they should definitely have covered.
Yep.
Right? Like the Bills covering, the Lions covering. Those are 2 like big point spreads. Like, nah. Even the Niners. The Niners were 4.5-point favorites. The Steelers on Monday Night Football. It's like, man, I feel so dumb. I was telling Jeremiah before we started recording. I know the Steelers was your Adriana, right?
Yep.
I was like, damn, it just feels so weird that it's been 6 all week.
Mm-hmm.
And then especially in the first half, it's like 9-9. You're like, oh, thank God I didn't bet this. And then at the end, you're like, all right, this is what I thought I was gonna look.
Yeah,
like.
bro. On the drive over here, I was like, man, is the Giants defense really like they account for points? Like that many points? Because that spread to me seemed almost low based on what the Steelers were able to do the week before, where it's like the offense now has a new leaf turned with Russell Wilson. They're really good. But yeah, we're starting to see it better, Nick. Here's a prime example of what you just said, and it will be my Monday winner. The Vikings -6 Sunday Night Football versus the Colts. This is a game in which Vikings, if you are the team that we think you are, the Colts in disarray all week. Anthony Richardson's going to be hearing about the head tap. I think the moment will be too big for the rookie, and I think the Vikings win this pretty convincingly at home.
Yeah, I like that one. Coming off a bye also. Minnesota didn't play that last week. I like that. You know, this now again, this changes if Jordan Love is out. Like, I know he pulled his groin. That was fucking weird too. Did you see he just like collapsed on the field? I was like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
It looked really scary, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm on the Packers +3 right now. Vikings, yeah, I'm with you on the Vikings, man. Pros and Joes early on in the week. They're on the same side with the Vikings.
And another one that I love.
Okay, a double.
Early.
Wow, you're feeling yourself. You're going 2. Let's go. Yeah, you deserve it, bro. Come on.
Oh, no, because I could sound like an idiot now, because if I pick more and I lose, I sound bad. Give me the Buccaneers +9, bro. Versus the Chiefs Monday Night Football. If the Raiders put up a fight against the Chiefs, I think the Buccaneers are a way better team. And I know they don't have the weapons, but hey, Baker Mayfield primetime, he doesn't lose by 10. He keeps it close, like a gentleman, and backdoor covers for your boy. That's what's going to happen.
I will say that Mahomes as a favorite of more than a touchdown. You do not want to bet him. They're a favorite of more than a touchdown. You want to bet Mahomes when he's a 3-point favorite or less. And then especially when he's an underdog, it's like, oh, I don't care. I don't care where they play.
Yeah.
I'm taking them. Yeah, but they're playing off a back-to-back on the road. I don't care.
Don't matter.
I'm taking them. So, yeah.
Bro, I'm telling you, this Tampa Bay, everybody thought Tampa Bay this week was going to get blown out. I had the Falcons, by the way. I was sitting very comfortable, and then I literally opened my eyes, and I'm like, wait a second. Does Baker Mayfield have the ball with a chance to like take the lead right now with 2 minutes left? Like, what is happening? That's what's going to happen in that Chiefs game. That offense is yet to open up. D-Hop this week, though. Worried about that. Definitely worried about that.
Could be, yeah. He only caught 2 passes.
Yeah, I know. I didn't.
Which was expected.
This week was a nothing burger. Like,
Yeah.
you're going to catch a hitch, and I don't know what the other route was that he caught, but yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't look too much into that, but I'll tell you this. It looked like he was running his routes hard. And that was something I was talking about. Like, yo, you go from playing with Will Levis and everything in Tennessee, and now you're on a team that has a chance to win the Super Bowl. You're going to play a lot different. You're definitely going to play a lot different. So, yeah, that's going to be fun. I'm excited for that one. Hopefully we have a closer Monday Night Football game than what tonight was. And the Dodgers are up 3-0 on the Yankees.
R.I.P. to
Yeah.
the Yanks.
You know what was funny? I don't cover much baseball on here. I like the Mets and I follow the Mets. But I was just telling a lot of my Yankee friends back home. I was like, yo, I think y'all might be in trouble. Like, dude, you don't even know baseball. Shut up. And I get that interaction all the time, like in any sport, when a fan DMs me and they're like, hey, man, what do you think of the Broncos this week? I don't know if Bo Nix should be a 10-point favorite. I think it's unproven. You don't know shit, bro. It's because you slandered their team.
Right.
But if you say something in favor of their team, yo, you're the man, dude. I love your content.
Right.
You slander them? No. So I tell my Yankee friends, I'm like, yo, Dodgers are like, they've been the favorite all year. Kind of feel like it's a massive step up from playing the Guardians and whoever else you fucking played before. And they're like, dude, you don't even know baseball. I was like, I feel like you guys might get swept. Earn 5.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't bet it. Should have bet it.
Well, the odds wouldn't have been that
No, but
crazy.
bet the correct score, you could have gotten a nice number, maybe like a plus 400.
Yeah, I was about to say, you're not getting more
Plus
than 4-1
550.
on the Dodgers.
Yeah.
I'm assuming the Dodgers were big favorites heading into the series.
Yeah. Damn, up 3-0. That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
That's nuts. Dude, you gotta, it goes back to what we were talking about a couple of weeks ago about like, I'm pretty bougie when it comes to going to tickets. One of my friends spent $9,000 on 4 tickets for his family to go to game 3 and they just lost, like no showed. Like that's devastating, bro. That's why now,
you should never pay $9,000 for a game 3.
Well, I mean, everything, the price is inflated because of, it's the playoffs, it's New York, it's the fucking championship, it's a must win, right? Like, bro, game 4 tickets are probably gonna be like half that. But who wants to go to that?
Yeah.
Like, you're not. And again, man, like I'm not saying this to be like in my cool stage or anything. I'm really not going to events anymore unless they're free.
Shit, we talked about WrestleMania earlier.
Yeah.
$1,000 a ticket. And you were like, Nick's like, no, I have two methods that I could possibly make it in the building.
But you see, that's a little different because like I don't have an outcome that'll like it's not like I paid $2,000 for a Giants conference championship game and I flew to Atlanta to watch it and I put myself up in a hotel and I paid for my flight and I brought my friend with me and I was feeling good and I paid for them to come also. And now I'm like $7,000 in the gutter and then they lose 47-20.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, I just wasted my time and my money and my energy on this shit. That's what I mean by that. Mm-hmm. Or like a WrestleMania or a concert. I'm cool with a concert, to go to a concert. Like I'd be down with that. But to go to a game, especially when I care that much, like, bro, it's whack.
It's not worth it.
Yeah. It's not worth it.
Not worth
I don't like it. Not for those prices. This was fun, man.
It was.
It was good to come back home.
Yeah, you said you were like, I'm re-energized, dude.
Bro, every time I land in Vegas and I see the Las Vegas, welcome to Las Vegas sign, I get fucking bricked up, bro. I love it so much, man. Yeah. Every time I go back home, I like it because I feel like refocused, re-inspired. I saw a lot of my friends that even though it might not seem like it, man, it's the people that I'm doing it for I got to see. And it was cool. And then there was a lot of people I saw that I kind of wanted to make sure they saw me.
Yeah.
Like you thought I wasn't going to do well, but I'm fucking chilling. I'm in a pink suit standing out.
Pink suit was nice.
All the dudes were like, "Oh, bro, where you going clubbing after this?" I'm like, "Yo, just because you don't know how to dress, you got no drip. You just wear black suits. Fucking vanilla missionary suit game." Listen, I got a black suit. I got a navy suit. Like I got it too.
Of course.
I just showed up. And guess what? Every girl at the wedding, oh my God, that looks amazing. That's what I do it for.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to impress my boys.
Bro,
there's other people, other prospects.
No different than those birds that you see in those Nat Geo documentaries that are trying to get laid.
Yeah.
All the pretty feathers behind them.
Yeah, it's for a reason.
In front of the lady, and they can mate with the other bird.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what we do. Pink suit.
That's all we do.
That's what I do. Teal flannel. Oh,
George, let the people know where they can find you.
At Mr. George Carmona. And I actually just opened up my own flannel factory. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to start my own website and everything. GeorgeCarmonaFlannels.com.
For real?
No.
Oh, dude, you're fucking convincing, bro. I really thought that he was.
I kept it going. I didn't want to look at you because your face got really serious. I was like, holy shit, Nick.
Nah, yo, I fuck with it, man. I would buy some shit.
No, I'm gonna be honest.
I would pay in full.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't do that shit. Yo, that's a pet peeve of mine. If I'm into flannels, I'm gonna pay a full price if I don't know the owner, right?
Yeah.
So why not pay you full price? This idea that like, cause it's my boy, I gotta
get the homie discount.
Give me the discount? Nah, bro. Nah.
It's even crazier when you see it with people that have crazy money.
Yeah, dude. Yo, it bothers me, man. It bothers me. Like my buddy Dom, who gave us the honey, I bought that full price, and he threw me 2 shirts in on the house. Like, cool, like, but nah, bro. I want to pay full price. If I'm gonna pay for the service anyway. My friend Emily, I do jujitsu with her and her man Will. They watched Will, who came on the show a couple weeks ago from UNLV. They watched my puppy over the weekend. They watched Dais. She's a masseuse. And once a month, she comes by the crib. And I pay full price. She's like, oh, well, my friends, I was like, if you didn't know me, what do you charge? I charge this. That's what I'm going to pay you.
Yep.
No, you don't. No, that's what I'm going to pay you. Because if I was to go to another fucking Emily, I would have to pay full price. So don't give me that. I'd rather support my friends.
I love to hear that.
Yeah, it's the best. At Nick Dais Tennis, you can find me. All things Veterans Minimum are at Veterans Minimum. And we will catch you guys next time.
Peace.
In his element, I'm a gold medalist, bronze like your medal is. So many deer in headlights, but it's bedtime. Hear that supper bell, main course, be the venison.
Dab. Most dangerous game. Either kill or be killed.